Hi, Cancer, my lunar brothers and sisters. Welcome to your Master Monthly. So, this is a pivotal month. Your season arrives along with the fact that Jupiter, the Lord of growth, expansion, abundance, levity, lightness, is coming into your sign, bringing blessings, healing, and momentum after what might have felt like years of internal pressure. Don't expect it to be all softness and light, though, right? Remember, Jupiter will expand everything that it touches, first and foremost. And also, there are some other things going on in the sky at the same time. But before the breakthroughs come, the realizations have to hit. All right. So keep that part in your back pocket. And some of those might sting, right? It's possible. It's just a possibility. This is still, however, your time. We come into your season. If you are a June born Cancerian, happy damn birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic solar return. And remember to fill the day of your birthday with a little bit of everything that you want in the entire year to have. All right. So you are being expanded from this month onwards in some way, shape, or form. I am Raphael. Welcome. Welcome to Radiant Reality. This is obviously a place of astrology, tarot, numerology, and energy work. If you are wondering, I use whole sign tropical Western astrology for those of you that would like to know. And furthermore, if you are asking that question that a lot of people ask, which should I watch for my sun or my rising sign? The answer to this, because this is astrology and tarot, astrology favors the ascendant sign, whereas tarot favors the sun. So my advice to you would literally be to watch both of them for your sun and your ascendant. But also because you are Cancerian, I would advise that you watch your moon sign as well, because whatever happens with Luna is always going to be a big deal for you. Now, with that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose, and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. On the first of the month, Venus is going to come into a conjunction with Chiron, and this is taking place in the sign of Aries, which for you represents or is ruled by the 10th house. This transit is potentially going to stir up some uncomfortable emotions around career, reputation, maybe even public recognition. It could be that something about you personally comes up. It's also possible that, something that you maybe something that you didn't necessarily give a lot of thought to comes up and it is sort of really deeply personal and you kind of feel like that's very much exposed. And the reason I say that is because for you, Venus in your chart rules your fourth house, but it also rules your 11th house. So your deep-rooted emotions and your personal goals and visions, it's like something about you is being revealed publicly and it might feel really, really tender at the time. It might also raise issues around how you've been told to present yourself, especially in a professional or a high stakes kind of setting. And maybe like the quiet pain of not really being allowed to show up as your full self has really settled in somewhere in your life. Like if you struggled with things like imposter syndrome, this could be a really powerful breakthrough moment, but it comes through a bit of discomfort. Only by really facing the ache are you able to then really push through this. And, because it is Chiron, healing is absolutely possible, but you have to acknowledge the scar or the wound first. On the 6th of the month, Venus is going to come into the sign of Taurus in her own sign. She's at home here. This is in your 11th house. And as if that wasn't enough, the moon is going to be in the sign of Libra in your fourth house. And she's going to be trining to Mercury, who will be in. Oh my gosh, my brain's gone completely blank. And then Mercury, who will at this point be newly in your sign, right? So it's a pretty potent moment. And I will say, it's actually at the time Jupiter is going to be Jupiter. At the time, Gemini is, oh my gosh. Come on, brain. At the time, Mercury is going to be at the tail end of Gemini. So the moon and Mercury are going to be trining from that fourth and 12th house, but then you've got Venus in the 11th house. So these houses are, in a way, they're all being represented and coming together. And the trine between Mercury and in Mercury in the 12th, I love Mercury in the 12th, right? Because Mercury in the 12th, it really does bring the psychic gifts to the fore. And even more so, it's like you get an extended period of that, right? And as the most intuitive or the most psychic of the signs, it kind of makes sense to me. Whereas the energy of Venus in Taurus is bringing an earthy sort of perspective to that. But at this time, around the 6th, there's a lot of Venusian energy in the air, right? So this could be conversations that have a really deep and meaningful element to them. It could be conversations with women, with friends that are women in particular, where you bond over something or you talk about something that's really deep, and it really allows some kind of healing or acknowledgement to come through. And because it's the moon in Venus's sign and Venus is in the sign of Taurus, where she is strong and earthy and practical, it's like you're able to really see the value in the friendships, the wider social connections that you have, the groups that you're associated with. And it's like you're able to find healing through your conversations. When you really address how you feel about something. Now, as if that wasn't enough, on the 8th of the month, Mercury comes into a conjunction with Jupiter at the very tail end of Gemini in your 12th house. This one runs deep. The 12th house it can be a sticky and a tricky one, right? Because it's quiet, it's hidden, it's unconscious, it's immaterial or intangible. But then the Mercury and Jupiter conjunction in this space, it's like you could receive this huge internal download or spiritual insight, or maybe just a moment of really personal clarity that has been long overdue. And then it's like this might show up in a dream, in a vision, through some kind of intuitive flash during some kind of solo time as well. Maybe there's a moment around this day where you kind of steal away from the world and you have this really profound moment. It's not loud, right? But it is really deep and it is really meaningful. And if you've been waiting for a sign or trying to connect the dots to a situation that hasn't made any sense, this could be one of those like aha moments, right? Now, on top of that, if you are working on something behind the scenes, like a project, a healing process, something of a spiritual nature, that could really amplify now. And it's also possible because Jupiter in the 12th brings immaterial or spiritual blessings. And it also brings benefactors potentially from the other side, right? So this could be, if you've got an ancestor practice, this would be a really good time to feed your people, because this could be where they could really come through for you. On the 9th of the month, Mercury comes into your sign, comes into that first house. Not only is Mercury in Cancer really good for the memory, but it strengthens the memory, but Mercury in Cancer is also really good for articulating how you feel, articulating what your needs are. And so this might be one of those rare times. And I will say, if you're a cross watcher, and you have a Cancerian person in your life, my advice to you would be this month, when they ask you for help, when they verbalize what their needs are, listen and do your best to meet them, right? It's not to say that you have to give them everything that they ask for, but it's rare for Cancer people. Like, Cancer people spend so much time intuiting other people's needs and desires and very often fulfilling them before the person has even said, I need or I want. And sometimes, being a Cancer moon, right, I can speak on this. Sometimes they get a little bit resentful because it's like, I spend all this time meeting everybody else's needs without asking for anything in return. Once, just once, it would be really nice for someone to do the same for me. And so, with this, if you hear your Cancerian sun, moon, or ascendant person speaking up and saying, this is what I need, listen, right? Listen, because it's a rare moment where they're giving you an insight into their inner world. Your voice, Cancer, returns. Mercury in your sign is the power of articulation, as I said, but it's also validation. This is where you're able to put things into words in ways that people really understand. If you've got if you've got ideas that you've been sitting on, any kind of a story or an idea, or maybe even a decision that you've been making, you'll find the words that you need now. It's also a really good time to start putting your thoughts into writing, especially anything of a personal or identity sort of driven perspective. Conversations will probably be a bit more direct, but still have, an emotional intelligence about them. And you're like a new haircut or a new look of some sort, or maybe even just communicating about yourself differently, and your self-talk could all be vastly different at this time. On the 10th of the month, Jupiter enters Cancer, right? This is a big moment. This is Jupiter coming into your sign, expanding you, growing you, making you lighter and larger than life, bringing blessings. Jupiter, the great benefic of the zodiac, comes into its sign of exaltation, which for you, if you're an ascendant Cancer anyway, this is your first house. This is a big deal, right? And the reason I love this is because it's a once in 12-year transit and it lasts for a year. So you want to milk this baby. Now, the challenge that you have, and I probably should have mentioned that Mercury is the herald. So on the 9th, Mercury comes in and says, Jupiter is coming to town, right? And then Jupiter comes in and is going to be in that first house. As if that wasn't enough, you've now got Saturn and Neptune both in the sign of Aries in your 10th house. You may be feeling like you really want to grow and expand. You might feel yourself expanding internally, feeling lighter, feeling brighter, feeling ready to really share something with or about yourself to or out there into the world. And yet, Saturn and Neptune in the 10th house in the sign of Aries are kind of saying, yeah, that's great, but have you considered the facts and the figures? And the Neptune there as well, it may be that how you want people to see you, Jupiter in the first, may be that they're not seeing you that way, right? Or that you realize like, wow, okay, if I want people to see me as this, I'm going to have to start showing up as this, right? Neptune says, what's the most idealistic or best way that I can show up in that soft sheen of Jupiter in my first house? And Saturn says, well, actually, it's probably going to look like this, and it's probably going to take much longer than you anticipate. Now, that goes right the way through the 11th and onwards as well. And this is where Jupiter squares Saturn and Neptune exactly. So you've got Jupiter and Mercury squaring Neptune and Saturn. And it's a big deal. Excuse me. Big boy yawn. All right. So it is a big deal. And it might be one that you feel sort of very viscerally because it's like you finally feel like, oh, finally I can breathe, I can expand. And you still got the outer or external world, the 10th house, or the reputation that you've built for yourself, the 10th house, or Saturn as the external world, or some limiting factor or force. Right. And it's like, okay, now I realize or I understand how I need to shift here. On the 17th of the month, Mars is going to enter your third house. Mars in the third can be harsh or potentially challenging words, so do watch out for that. This could be a time where people want to mentally joust with you a bit more, certainly verbally as well. But equally, you're able to give as good as you get, right? Your mental energy gets a massive boost of energy, though, right? Mars is energy, action, excitation, passion, war, anger, irritation sometimes, but it is a boost of speed and energy and passion. And Mars in that third house is sharpening your focus, it's sharpening the mind, it's speeding up your thoughts, it's bringing a lot more determination with how you speak, with how you learn, with how you move, especially because it's bringing a greater sense of precision as well, because it's in the sign of Virgo. You might find yourself wanting to finish that course, right? To take the road trip, to finally tackle some kind of tech setup that you've been maybe a bit, that's been on your to-do list forever or whatever. Mars can be pushy, so just know that be careful not to be overly sharp with your words. Maybe don't rush through any communications that are coming through, and also your nervous system at this time may be a little bit more sensitive. So give yourself breaks when you need them. It's also possible that siblings, neighbors, cousins, etc., could play a bigger than expected role in the month ahead for you as well. Now, on the 21st of the month, The sun, the illuminating, life-giving principle in our zodiac, comes into your sign. This is the summer solstice. This is the next 3 months being highlighted. Pay attention to this day. Welcome home. Happy damn birthday, Cancer, especially for those of you that are celebrating on this day or this day forward. Funnily enough, this is actually Radiant Reality's birthday as well. So, big love, big heart. The sun moves into your sign. We hit the solstice point, a powerful pivot point in the year. This is your solar rebirth. And the light really returns to you, right? Even though here in the Northern Hemisphere, obviously now days will start to get lighter, this moment can really act as an energetic reset. Who are you becoming? Especially now that Jupiter has entered your sign. So at this point, you've got Jupiter in your sign, you've got the sun in your sign, you've got Mercury in your sign. You are this shining beacon of light and hope and communicative energy. Use it as such. You might feel more visible or more self-aware at this time. And that really is the whole point. Don't hide. Let yourself take up space. On the 22nd of the month, Mercury is going to trine the North Node in Pisces and sextile the South Node in Virgo. And this, the nodal axis for you is across the third and the ninth houses, right? This is, I'm sorry, that's, let me just make sure. Yeah, it is the third and the ninth houses. I thought I was talking rubbish then. And you've got Mercury in your first house. So while this is fated communications, conversations, potentially with teachers, with mentors, coaches, gurus, but also with students or colleagues, possibly with siblings and or grandparents as well. There's something that Mercury, you are communicating, Mercury in the first house, Mercury in Cancer in your sign, something you're communicating that has a fated or a at least what feels like a karmic sort of shift point. And so this might be where you come forward and say, I'm no longer doing this, right? Mercury in connection to the South Node. I'm no longer available for that. Mercury in connection to the North Node. Actually, I'm going in this direction, right? So whatever you are speaking out to the world or sharing with people on the 22nd, it'll probably be something that sticks. On the 23rd of the month, Mercury is going to square Chiron. This is Mercury in the first, something you're communicating about yourself, squaring Chiron in the 10th house. It's an ouch point, but potentially a necessary one. It may be a moment of doubt, especially around your public image, your career path. Maybe you get started on something, and this could be one of those moments, right? And we have them. On the 22nd, you come forward, you make this bold declaration, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, you're doing what now? Right? And so it's like, suddenly might find that something that you've said, Mercury squaring Chiron in the 10th house, and people are like, well, we're used to having this from you, so we want just this from you. I had a lot of this with my channel over the years. Lots of people like, I don't like that you're doing this now. I don't like that you've changed how you do that. And it's like, the truth of the matter is you can't please all the people all the time. So you might as well just do what you know is going to be right for you. Do what you love and what you enjoy, because when you can put your whole heart and energy behind it, people will love it as well, right? Because that comes through in the work. Someone's word or your own inner critic may really trigger an insecurity around the 23rd. So just watch out for that. Instead of collapsing into it, ask yourself, is this feedback or is it fear? Speaking up about what you really want, even if it rocks the boat, may just be the kind, the right kind of medicine. On the 24th of the month, Jupiter comes into a cazimi in your first house. This is the sun and Jupiter coming together. So the sun is the ruler of your second house, money, finances, resources, self-worth, self-esteem, and personal values and possessions. In the first house, conjunct Jupiter, who is very happy in your sign, right? Because it's exalted. This could literally represent a point at which you gain some kind of huge blessing just for being who you are. Like, fuck me, what more do you want, right? Show up to work today and everyone's like, yay, right? You just get some bonus and you're like, grazie, grazie mille, right? Like, I don't know what I did, but thanks. So take the win, right? But equally, if there's something that you want to do, put it out into the world. It's one of the most auspicious days of the year, especially for you. It's happening in your sign. Jupiter is purified by the light of the sun. It's bringing luck, divine inspiration, blessings into the core of your being. And if you've been working on launching something or starting something, maybe just showing up more boldly, this is a magnificent day for you to do so. And also, this is your cosmic yes. So say yes to yourself, all right? On the 25th of the month, Mercury is going to come into a sextile with Uranus. So this is Mercury in the first house again, still in a sextile to Uranus, which is in the sign of Taurus, which for you represents the 11th house. Unexpected connections with friends, unexpected conversations could really come up now. Opportunities that come up through friends could be really surprising, but also very relevant for what you're trying to do, right? Likely through a friend, a group, or an online network or an association. It's a fast moving energy that favors innovation and bold expression. So I will say, because sextiles are opportunities and Mercury moves really quick and Uranus is a fast energy by its nature, this might be kind of a this has shown up. Are you interested? Do you want to do it? Yes or no? Right? Be open for it. If you get a crazy idea that lights you up at this time as well, especially if it's about something that you want to do with your future or something that feeds into a future goal or desire, go for it, right? And then on the 26th of the month, the Sun is going to sextile Mars. So Sun in your sign, sextiles Mars in your third house in the sign of Virgo. I like Mars in Virgo. Mars in Virgo is like, I see this as like a good little soldier. Mars will do what it needs to do, right? Mars be Mars in. So it's like you've got the energy to get things done. And it's like you're not just speaking about them, but you're actually making them happen. It's a great day for speaking your truth, clearing out your tasks, getting rid of those to-do lists, taking action on something that you've kind of been circling on the list for quite a while. There's a sense of alignment between your body and your willpower this over the course of this day and beyond, right? So channel it wisely. Conversations might get a little bit heated, potentially in a passionate but productive kind of way. So keep that in your back pocket, but keep an eye on it. And then on the 27th, Mercury comes into the sign of Leo, coming into your second house of money, finances, resources, conversations, thought processes, and actions turn towards money, right? Towards the value. Now, Mercury will go retrograde in this sign sooner, sooner rather than later, I guess. So this could be really you asking, what is this worth, right? Whatever it might be, what am I worth? What is my worth? This could be the beginning of negotiating new rates, redefining your prices, making bold moves around spending or saving. And also this is Mercury in Leo is bold declarations of things. So do be mindful of that and do remember that Mercury will go retrograde shortly. So keep that in mind. On the 29th of the month, Mercury in the sign of Leo is going to oppose Pluto. This is a big deal because it's happening across the second and eighth house axis, which means that money, finances, resources, joint ventures, power, powerlessness, who has the power, whoever has the gold makes the rules, that kind of stuff is going to be coming up. Mercury in your second house is seeing you talk about your money, and in opposition to Pluto in the eighth house, this is, I think, for a lot of you, this might be like a moment of how do I access the kind of money that I want that's bigger than what I have? And where is it that certain conversations, certain narratives, certain maybe even my website or whatever it is actually hindering that process? Something here demands to be addressed because it's on opposition, right? Oppositions, it said, are of the nature of Saturn, and that means that you have to meet it head on. You can't skirt around it. You can't sort of try to be clever about it and sweep it under the carpet. It just doesn't work. With an opposition, you have to meet it head on. It's a good day to be really honest, but not dramatic. Pluto is stripping away the illusions when it comes to money. Speak your truth when it comes to resources, but speak them with care. Finally, on the 30th of the month, Venus is going to begin her conjunction to Uranus. She doesn't quite get there, but you will feel this one coming in at the tail end. Again, this is in your 11th house. It's the start of some kind of surprising connections or even, talents or skills that are revealed. A friendship could turn, for those of you that are single, friendships could turn into partnerships. For those of you that are partnered and married or already, something about your partner could be showing up in terms of your future goals together. Uranus is bringing shocks, right? And if you work with or in with others or in a group or in a large group setting, there could be some developments here. And I will say you're going to have to trust the shake-up. Now, I'm not adding the full and new moons to these because, as you can see, these are already quite long videos. Too many people are clicking off after a certain point. It hurts the algorithm, yada, yada, yada. Now, that being said, the card blending workshop is on the 6th and the 7th of June. If you know your basic tarot meanings and the structure of the major and minor arcana, this class is absolutely for you. It's delivered over 2 days. It's not just me talking at you. This is going to be a practical, hands-on. I'm going to get you involved. You're going to be talking about things. We're going to be pulling cards together. We're going to be talking about what combinations mean. It's going to be a lot of fun, and a lot of you have asked for this, so it would be lovely to have you there. You will, of course, get the reading. You will, of course, get the recording so that you can watch it back after. There's a link in the description box below that will give you so much more information. The first 20 students are going to get, the first 20 seats get £25 off of the price, or that offer will end on the 31st of May. With that said, stay tuned while we get to your tarot. Hi Cancer, happy damn birthday to you. I hope you are having a fantastic time of it, and if you are a June born Cancerian human, a happy damn birthday to you. I really hope you have a wonderful solar return. Remember to fill the day of your birthday with a little bit of everything that you want the year ahead to have in it. So you want to make your day look the same as the year that you would like, right? So you do a little token thing that represents a little bit of everything for the year ahead, okay? With that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So I'm going to give these a shuffle. Let's see what your key to the month card is. And this month you have dun, 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 the Fool card. This is so fitting, right? Especially given the fact that it is your season and what happens when the sun comes into our sign. Like, I genuinely believe that when it's your birthday, when the sun comes back into your sign, it's like the sun has traveled the entire zodiac over the course of the month, and effectively it's gathered knowledge and information and wisdom, and then when it comes back into your sign, it pours all of that knowledge, wisdom, information, light, healing, joy, energy, vibration, vitality into you, right? And so you gain not only the knowledge, and when you think about it, it's like, you know how information travels over the internet, like it all goes down, it travels as light, right, down a cable. Well, it's the same thing. When the sun has traveled the entire zodiac over the course of a year, gathering knowledge and information and wisdom, when it comes into your sign, it then pours that into you and infuses it into your very body. We glow more when the sun is in our sign. We feel like we have more energy, more vitality. So here we go. The fact that you've got the Fool card, new things, new places, new people, new energies are showing up for you, absolutely. But a new sense of self is emerging this month. The month of June is really going to be about adventure. And it's also, as I say, that new sense of self that is starting to emerge. Now, for some of you, this may be because of the knowledge and information that's come in. It may be because of what you've learned about yourself over the last year. It might even be because of because of the different way that you see the world now. Either which way, This is you fully aligned with a greater and expanded sense of self, which is really, really exciting. Now, I do want to mention my card blending workshop is on the 7th and the 8th of June. So if you would like to spend the weekend with me, it's 4 hours per class. They may or may not run over, but there'll be a minimum of 4 hours per class. So it's 2 days, the 7th and the 8th of June. You will obviously get the recording, and I will say, if you're going to take this class, really you do need a basic understanding of the meanings of the cards and the structure of the deck. If you don't have that, you're probably going to get lost in the sauce on this one. It's more sort of for those kinds of people, for intermediate, advanced professionals, you know, and the reason I say that is because I'm not going to be teaching the meanings of cards or anything like that. I'm specifically going to be teaching you how to blend the meanings of cards, how to bring this all together so that you can really start to frame your messages, answer questions, read a spread, you know, or even just drop some cards and be able to really pull it all together. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be lots of exercises. There's going to be a lot of laughter. So if you want something that, and it's not a webinar, right? This is, when I say a workshop, I mean it's going to be interactive. So if you want to have a lot of fun with a great bunch of people and of course myself, there's a link in the description box below. It's going to give you a lot more information than I can give you here. And as if that wasn't enough, the first 20 people that sign up get £25 off of the course, or if there are still, if those don't all go, then the 31st of May, that offer will end. All right, so for your actions and options, you've got the 9 of Swords with the Fool card. So one of the things that shows up here is your actions this month. It looks to me like, because the 9 of Swords can sometimes be where we get hyped up about something, right? Where we kind of be a little bit of a drama queen, right? Now, because it is the 9 of Swords, one of the ways that I feel like this combination is showing up is there's something that you're doing or actioning this month that you kind of expect to have a certain result or a certain experience from. And maybe it doesn't go according to plan, maybe it doesn't happen the way that you would like it to, and so, you know, you kind of effectively spit your dummy out of the pram. Now, that's not to say that you're not warranted, right? It's not to say that you shouldn't feel the way that you feel. It's just to say, don't be a fool, don't over exaggerate it, right? Look at things objectively, step back and see them as they are. Now, the opportunity that you have this month is to really see something in motion. And that would be my greatest piece of advice, is to observe what is actually happening versus what you feel is happening. All right, now, when it comes to your communications and conversations, you've got the 6 of Swords. I said there would be an adventure, and that looks like an adventure to me. This looks like a lot of you are exploring or expanding. You're going to new horizons in some way, journeying to a place that you've never been before. Now, for some of you, this may come about through your work. For others, this may come about through your studies. For all of you, in some way, shape or form, this is likely to be the result of an invite. Now, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, the 6 of Swords suggests that you are now turning a corner in your studies. So if there's been something in particular that you've really struggled with, this month things are really going to come together for you in a way where it might not be immediate, it might not be really quick, but you might sort of really, by the time you get to the end of the month, you're just sitting there thinking, wow, you know what, like I really understand this now in a really much greater sense of myself. Maybe this is the sense of self that is emerging because of whatever new information is coming in. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, especially where things have been rocky at the job, with the work, with the team, maybe with you feeling like you don't fit in, etc. This month you're going to come leaps and bounds, and you may feel like, you know what, I finally feel like I'm accepted. I finally feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. And also, I finally feel like things are actually starting to not even just make sense, but just to feel that much better, right? Cancer is a water sign, and Cancer loves it when things flow. And when they don't, many of you know I've got a Cancer moon, very proud of that fact. But when things don't flow, we do get a little bit, it's quite jarring for us. So things are improving there. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, again, not only are you turning a corner, but there's an invite or an opportunity this month that shows up for you to not only get ahead, but to really demonstrate who you are and what your specific unique skill set is. So take it when it arrives, right? And for some of you as well, this may be an old opportunity that is refreshed in some way. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, honestly, you guys are in the best position because you're able to travel at the drop of a hat. And I will say, if travel opportunities show up for you guys this month, I would absolutely take them. For your love and relations, you've got the Four of Pentacles. So if you are partnered, married, or in a long-term commitment, there's a lot of focus on the stability and the security of the relationship. And if you've had problems or it's been a little bit rocky, I think a part of the new emerging self that's coming forward and the stability that's coming back into the relationship is coming about, one, because you're communicating better, and two, because you're really aware this month of your part in why that boat has been rocking, right? And it's like, okay, I'm no longer going to choose to participate in this, but just because I'm owning my shit and deciding not to do that anymore doesn't mean I'm going to let yours slide. If we're going to improve, we're going to improve all around the board, right? For those of you that are single and looking to mingle, honestly, I think there might be one or two opportunities to date this month, but it's kind of like I see a lot of you more focused on your career, your resources, really looking at what you want, where you're going. It's like that's more important to you at the moment. And then finally, for your money and materials, you've got the Five of Cups. Okay, so what do we see here? You've got the Fool card with the Five of Cups. Do not be foolish with your money this month, all right? Like, you just want to be making sure that you're keeping your wits about you, that you're using your finances correctly. If you're partnered, this could be potentially where the challenge is coming in. It may be that your partner wants to do something and you're like, you know what, for anything for an easy life, I'm just going to go ahead with it. But if your Cancerian intuition is saying, no, this is not a good idea, it's up to you to say, actually, this is not a good idea. And what I need to do is put my foot down, all right? Because this could, whenever the Five of Cups shows up as the money card, there's always some kind of expense that shows up that we're not expecting, and it's like, oh crap, I really didn't need this right now. Because you've got this next to the Four of Pentacles, which is known to be a money card, and then you've also got this Fool card as the key to the month, I will say you do need to keep an eye on any sort of expenditure, and also just be sensible, right? When it comes to your physical health and vitality, your reproductive system, whether you're a man or a woman, irrelevant, your reproductive system this month is something that I would watch out for. If you're out here dating and you, listen, live your life, hunty, live your life, right? Get out there, do your thing, handle your business. But when I say handle your business, man or woman, handle your business, okay? We don't want to be coming home with more than just a smile on our faces, if you catch my drift, okay? Finally, when it comes to your home and environment, the Five of Cups. Home is really important to Cancer people, and I will say it's very possible that this month there could be a leak or some kind of water problem or issue with the home. I really hope this is not the case, because obviously, as you know, I've got a Cancer moon, and this is just not right. Like, this is just not ideal in any way, shape, or form. If you would like to book your personal reading with me, you can do so on the link in the description box below. It would be my pleasure to read for you. My readings, just like the ones on YouTube, are deeper, they are longer, lots of really great reviews and testimonials that you can check out. And if you feel like you want to get a reading with me, you know what to do. That being said, happy damn birthday to you. With that said, take care, and I'll see you soon.